Hello, everyone. I'm president of this club, and I just want to welcome all of our small business people who are here today. This is a program we wanted to have for a long time, and we're delighted that you're here. We think that there may be a little light attendance today only on account of election blues, but we're all here and supporting you and really happy to have you. Okay, our pledge in Norway, Kelly, come on up. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Four-way test. The test asks the following questions. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Before I pass this microphone, I just want to remind everybody how wonderful Tim and Jennifer Sweeney were to give us their house over Halloween for a celebration that was just, boy, did they raise the bar. Whoever's going to take that on next year, good luck. Yeah, we're going back to them. All right. And I also wanted to mention that there were 4 prizes given. Excuse me, 3 prizes given. First, second, and third place with gift certificates to the Glass Forge. We gave 3 of those at a Rotary Thursday afternoon, but then Thursday evening, Halloween, number 1 or first place went to the Fly and their Swatter. And that would be Steve and Dawn Welch. Dawn being a fly. And second prize went to the Evil Dentist, and that was Mary Miller. And third place went to Thing 1 and Thing 2, and those were won by Steve and Christy Rowe. And so there you go. Yes, we're going to have inspiration. Margaret, thank you.
Necessarily what I was going to say, but my husband advised me to be nice. And what I want to say is a quote from Robin Wall Kimmerer, who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass. Quote, even a wounded world is feeding us. Even a wounded world holds us, giving us moments of wonder and joy. I choose joy over despair, not because I have my head in the sand, but because joy is what the earth gives me daily, and I must return the gift.
Okay, so let's, if we have announcements, anybody got a quick announcement, come on up. I just want to again thank the Sweeneys for the Halloween party. Also, where's our Leonora? Let's wait. Thank you for the face painting last week. Well, over $200, and it was just a hoot. It was super fun. So, okay, here's some announcements.
I just want to remind you guys about Operation Joy. The cards we're filling out for our friends who are in nursing homes and might not get very much for Christmas. If you want to fill out some cards and bring them in, fabulous. If you want to bring in some blank cards, as Judy did today, fabulous. If you want to take somebody else's blank cards, like the ones Judy brought in, take them home and fill them out, I'd appreciate that too. Thank you.
A reminder about the high school, the ethics workshop, they sent an email, they're a little bit desperate for 2 more volunteers, which is next Thursday. I believe it's the afternoon session to help guide 5 or 6 students through an ethical dilemma. I'll send an email out to everybody on that one. So if you're interested, they're still needing 2 more volunteers next Thursday.
Okay, I just wanted to apologize for those of you who signed up to do our Cleanup last Saturday, we did end up canceling because Friday was so nasty, but by the end of the day, I had half of the people cancel. And I thought there was like 5 of us left, and I went, there was no way I was taking 5 people out there to do that. So we will reschedule. So what I'm hoping is maybe to do something different, not do it early in the morning, do it a little bit later, do something afterwards, hot chocolate, hot toddies or something. So I would like to go out in the cold weather personally. So I will also do it when we have a forecast that I can look at and get an idea. So it does take, I drove it the day before and it takes 8 people to get in there and knock it out. So, you know, without those 8 people and a couple people to help put the big things up, it's not worth going out and just being miserable. So anyway, I will be going further. And just on a positive note too, I've been on the steering committee for the Children's Museum that's coming up. And I just want, if there's anything positive right now, we need to turn around in our community. We need to turn around and say, yes, we need to support this Children's Museum. Travis, you know, donated a $3 million building to Grants Pass to hold the Children's Museum. There will need to be remodeling done to let all those wonderful features. The nonprofit is coming through Jackson County. They're doing a pilot project here in Grants Pass. So you can go to the Children's Museum site and donate there. They're starting the capital campaign to get $3 million more to be able to do that. So I hope that you're open to it because I think this is something that all of our community can come behind. And there's the opportunity, they're hoping next fall to open childcare for 80 more children in Grants Pass. And we all know how early education makes such a difference in our community. So I am going to be full support of that. You can hear from me. So I'm trying to be very positive and think, remember what people of action can do. That's why we're in Rotary. So let's stay positive.
I completely understand and thank you for canceling the cleanup in the rain. And sadly, there'll be plenty of trash to pick up the next time we get that reorganized. I forgot to have Rotarians with guests. If anybody would like to introduce their guests with us, we have several guests who Doug's going to introduce, but did I miss anyone? Just wait.
Dr. Laura Cardillo.
I'm sorry, Brenda, nobody can hear you. Is this one of our, it's one of our business people. We're good. Doug's gonna introduce them. Okay, thank you. All right then. All right, so next, again, we are super happy to have all you small business folks here. We are a casual crowd. We like to laugh. There's no reason to be nervous. And we jump in with questions. So I'm going to turn it over to Doug to organize this. And thank you so much, Doug.
Thanks. So we have 5 or 6, excuse me, local businesses in town, small businesses that help them talk a little bit about themselves and what they do. We're going to try to limit it to about 6 or 7 minutes each. So I'm going to be rude and cut you off. So be mindful of yourselves and what you're talking about. But do explain what your business is and what you do and whatnot. It's a moment to promote your business and yourself and whatever, and talk about whatever. And then we'll try to get to questions as well. So I'm going to just go, rather than introduce everyone with the long version that was in the newsletter today, since we're short on time, I'm just going to introduce them by name and ask them to come up, and then who the next person will be after that. But Tyler, I'm going to have you come up first. Tyler's with True Juice. Come on up. Let me give you the mic, Tyler, and you can go ahead and talk. And he's with Birdie Juice, not True Juice. I said True Juice, didn't I? Yeah. So go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. This is super exciting. I haven't spoken in front of a group of people in a long time, so bear with me. Yeah, Birdie Juice. So we started in May 24th. We actually opened on Boat Neck weekend, which was really exciting. So what we are as an indoor golf simulator company, we have beers on tap as well as drinks. We have 3 golf bays that can have, each bay has over 100 courses. You can play mini games, hit the driving range for a while. And then one of our bays has a multi-sport, which I don't know if any of you follow us on social media, but it's a lot of fun for kids. And You could play dodgeball against zombies and play soccer. We have had quite a few soccer players come in, both adults and kids, that are just like, no, put me on the soccer. I'm not interested in golf. So a lot of fun is had in there, and it's basically why we opened. So that's kind of what we are, but why we are and who we are is my brother-in-law and I started this. He couldn't be here today. He owns Rocky Transport. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I'm originally medical transport, but he had a ride in Portland he had to do. But we opened this. I worked for Dutch Bros for about 10 years, and when they decided to move to Arizona, I was offered relocation or severance, and my wife grew up here. Her parents still live in the same house in Maryland, and she wanted to stay close to family. We have 3 small kids, so family was important to us. So we decided to try our own thing and started this. So why we wanted to open it is I believe golf is for everybody. I don't think that there's a skill level required to be a golfer. I don't think that I proved that a lot in there. Yeah, golf is for everybody. And so we started playing. My father-in-law owns a simulator in his garage. We started playing all winter, doing kind of an hour of Bible study and then an hour of playing together. And we started to get pretty good when everyone else was sitting on the couch because it was snowing outside. So we were playing all year long, and we've actually won the Dutcher Creek Men's League 2 years in a row now. Anytime I can bring that up, I do. That's what this was all for. So yeah, we want to get people something, a fun activity to do in the winter. And like I said, it's a big date night spot for us. You know, your best shot and your worst shot all go to the screen. They only go 9 feet. So one of my biggest things in there is your first hit might be 20 feet, and that might be as far as you get it. But by the end of your time at Birdie Juice, your best shot might be 40 feet or 50 yards, or it might be a little bit better. So when you're golfing out on the course, you know, there's a tempo you have to keep up, and if you're trying to learn how to golf, it can be intimidating, and you feel bad for the people that are behind you. They're waiting, they're watching, you're embarrassed, you're nervous. So at Birdie Juice, your time's your time. If you're bad, that's great, you'll get better. But really our focus is giving something safe and fun for the community. You know, we're pretty good about our alcohol sales. We try to keep it to a manageable amount so that people aren't coming in and being unsafe, because safety is one of our top priorities. So
Where are you located?
yes, so we are located at 550 Southwest 6th Street. So if any of you remember where the weekend started, over behind Floors to Go and Mattress Land, we specifically wanted that building. It's a perfect size, but also the muscle memory from people of going to the weekend. If I say 550, like if I just say the old weekend, you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's pretty easy to give directions there. But
Yeah, food as well.
we have a food truck on site. Craig Me is there, and he's such an incredible chef. He makes savory and sweet crepes. He's really fun. He opens as long as we're open. He stays as late as we stay, just in case somebody wants something. But we've also been working with him on his menu to have some late night treats that people like, that aren't, if you aren't in the mood for crepes, he's willing to make whatever you can think of.
Yeah, one more minute, Dave. Go ahead. Kayla?
Is this the kind of thing you bring your own golf clubs to, or are you just using the clubs there, or?
So we encourage you to bring your own clubs. We have rental sets available, but we encourage you to bring your own clubs because our simulators give a lot of data and information on the distance and the speed and all this stuff. So it can actually help you, you know, you use your own clubs that you're used to, you figure out how far this certain club gets it, you can be better out on the course.
Okay, we're gonna cut it off. Sorry, Tom.
Oh, well, I want to know what the connection to juice is.
Go ahead, it's quick.
So birdie juice is a commonly used term for people out on the course. If they have a good shot, they'll celebrate and take a drink of alcohol. So that's you have some birdie juice, and if you have a bad shot, that's how we use it. Is I need some birdie juice.
Thanks, Tyler. Next up is Dr. Lori DiCarvalho. And we'll try to do, if we have time at the end, we'll do questions again. So if there's a question that's left over that's burning, we'll try to get back to them again. Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Marie Carvalho, so, I own, Center for Wellness Psychology. But I'm not used to yelling at people.
We're used to being yelled at.
So I'm located over on East Street, just opened a couple of months ago. I'm a full service clinical psychology practice, so healthcare practice. I grew up in Grass Pass, moved here 40 years ago when I was much younger. No gray hair. And I just moved back a couple of months ago. I spent a lot of time down in California training and moved around, did a postdoc in Hawaii and moved back to California, started opening behavioral health clinics and have been practicing for a long time. So, anyway, I'm really super excited to be back in Grants Pass and feels like I'm back home, although things have changed a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to be here and appreciate the opportunity to introduce my business. And I didn't really prepare a speech because I thought if anybody had any questions, I could answer.
Go ahead.
Do you have any specialty, like any certain kind of client that you work with?
Yeah, so I do general psychology, clinical psychology, but I specialize in trauma and PTSD. I'm postdoctoral fellowship trained at National Center for PTSD. And board certified in trauma.
Tommy?
Do you have openings for people that would want to come and take advantage of your service?
Well, the interesting that my openings are extremely limited right now. I mean, I feel really very fortunate. My business grew very fast. So I don't have a lot of openings. I have a few. But that kind of changes, as people get better and more. I take insurance, some insurances. I'm still waiting on Medicare. They're very backed up. A lot. I take Medicaid. I take Pacific Stores, Providence, Moda, Regions. Kind of the big ones.
USAA?
No. Mm-mm.
So, question over here, just, so,
Do you work with children? Yeah.
I don't work with kids anymore. I used to, but I've kind of shifted my practice. So 18 years old to 108, basically.
Odd question, back to the insurance, you have to go through a process of becoming certified by the insurer before you can. Is that
Oh,
what-
yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to get enrolled, so it's a very extensive process to get enrolled and to get on a panel. So it takes a long time. I've been waiting on Medicare for 7 months already. Yeah.
Where are you located?
I'm at 219 Northwest East Street. So, it's a brick building with an arch. I'm located, actually, if you saw the sneak preview, we just had an open house. Basically, there's myself, we all have individual businesses and practices, but I'm in a suite that has, 3 massage therapists and an acupuncturist. So we all focus on wellness and kind of focusing on that piece. That's where I'm located.
do you conduct any group work?
I'm not doing groups right now, mostly individuals.
We've had a number of trainings, both ACEs quite a few years back, and then options, which was actually here last week, talking about them. Do you see, anything significant in trends or anything you're interested in talking about, or anything like that, or?
As you want to be more specific? Just
Well,
depends as far as, but-
How about high school, well, you're not doing high school, but 20-year-olds may not cope with it, that were 18, 17 at the time, or.
Yeah. So COVID changed everything. We've definitely seen a huge increase in depression and anxiety, since COVID. It was already bad before, But COVID just exacerbated it, so there's a lot more depression, anxiety, suicide, trauma, PTSD, people feeling isolated. And also in the elderly, there's a lot more isolation since COVID.
You do all of your meetings in person? I know there's a lot of like virtual services available these days, but do you focus on kind of the in person?
I do both. Yeah, I have a hybrid model, so I primarily see people in person, but then I do telehealth as well. By video.
But do you find that telehealth is as effective as in person? I mean,
It is, yeah, it's just, telehealth is equally as effective as in person. There's really no difference. I can do everything through telehealth that I would do in my office. But it's just more convenient for some people. They don't have to, if they live far away, and I have people that commute really far. I've got people that commute over from the coast, to see in person. You know, kind of falls in different places, but if it's not convenient or if it's not feasible, telehealth is a great option.
any other questions?
I did leave, thank you. I did leave brochures and my business cards in the back table if you're interested or if you want to share with anybody. So, thanks again for.
Carlie, do you mind coming up now? So Carlie, help me with the last name, Graessle. Graessle, of Tails and Trails Pack Walking.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carlie and my business is Tails and Trails Pack Walking, and I am a dog trainer. And I mainly focus on pack walks, and so it's a really good, calm, controlled way for your dog to socialize with other dogs. Some people like to take their dogs to the dog park, and while that is great for some dogs, not great for all dogs, you know. It's a lot of in your face, you know, craziness, and some dogs need that calm structure. And that's where I come in. So if people are gone for long periods for work, or if you know you're just really wanting your dog to get out, and if you don't want to take your dog out, I'm here. And so I go around in the morning and pick up all the dogs from their house, and then we go to the park and we take a walk for 2 hours, and then we drop them off afterwards, and we do plenty of pictures and videos and, you know, all stuff like that. And I also do one-on-one training. So coming to your house or meeting at a park, working on, you know, obedience, more socialization, you know, puppy training, anything like that. I am a graduate of Animal Behavioral College, and so I got my dog training certificate, yeah, call that there. And so I've been working with dogs basically my whole life. And I started in like doggy daycare centers, and then I moved to grooming, and then I moved on again to doing the training, and then I realized that's what I like the most is helping people and their dogs. And I really advocate for fulfilling your dog. You know, if you have a retriever, let them retrieve, let them hunt. If you have a terrier, let them dig, let them chase. Like, you want to fulfill your dog as much as you can, because you're gonna have a less, you know, destructive dog whenever your dog gets a little bored. And he's like, oh, it's not over there, maybe I can chew on that, you know. That's when you get into trouble. So I'm here to help keep your dog out of trouble. Keep them, I always say a tired dog's a happy dog. And for walks, I usually take about 6 to 8 dogs. And we go to the park and walk along and everything. It's a very structured walk. No one's dragging you down the, you know, street or anything. There's a lot of opportunities for training during this. And then that can all be passed on to owners and their dogs, so they know exactly what works with their dog, you know. And so lots of little tips and tricks to give you to help with your dog too. And for the one-on-one training, I do like sessions that are like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on whatever we're working on, how many things, you know, what you need. And I service Graessle and Berlin. And so pickups in the morning, start closest to my house, drive all around, get all the dogs, and we walk at Tom Pierce Park most of the time. And then after that, then go back in order. And right now it's from about 9 to 1. And so if your dog's the first picked up, they got a whole entire day planned, and usually when they come home, they just sleep for the rest of the day.
I want to hear more about how that pickup goes, because I can see that, like, walking 6 or 8 dogs, great, you know, because they're gonna cooperate, but like, when you've got 3 in the car and you throw another one in, how does that?
Well, so whenever I've been doing this for a year now here, so when I started with just one dog, solo walking, and then added a second one, and one by one added more dogs. And so it, was a very slow thing, and so whenever a new dog does come into the pack, you know, I take, them out of the car so they can say hi to all the other dogs, so it's not just like shoved in this, you know, tiny little space, and they're like, no dog, get away from me. And everything is very slow. I take time with the dogs, you know, every dog is different. Some are just jump right in. I'm like, all right, let's go. Some feel like they're being kidnapped almost, you know? And so I'm like, I promise I'm nice, let's go. But I have a larger like SUV in the back seats are all down, so they got plenty of room to hang out in there, and they got room in the front seat if they want to sit in the front seat. Yeah.
Have you ever had a fight either in your car while you were walking them?
I haven't had like a fight, like sometimes they'll just kind of a little like, you're too close to me, get away, and I think dogs really do need to communicate, so I let, you know, correction happen, if it's just a 1-2 vocal or thing, you know, a lot of times they're barking at each other, they're not like fighting, or they're like, you know, just, yeah, barking, snapping at each other, I let that happen, it's a 1-2, say your piece, you're done thing, and then after that, they're pulled apart. But dogs don't wanna fight. I think that is like a misconception that a lot of people have. Dogs don't wanna fight, and they will do everything in their power. Most of the time, they're gonna try to flee before they fight. And so a lot of them, you know, if they really aren't liking something, they're gonna say that, and then they're just gonna walk away. And so there's, you know, lots of little arguments, we call them, but I've never had an actual fight break out.
I was wondering if you have a favorite breed, and if so, what are the characteristics that make that dog your favorite?
I think I'm partial. I have a Vizsla. They're a bird dog. And they're really closely related to like German short hair pointers and Weimaraners. They are extremely loyal. They call them Velcro dogs because they pick one person and they just stick to them. And I like that. They're very biddable, which means like easy to train. They want to work, which makes it a lot easier. You know, sometimes you try to get like a couch potato dog, you know, you got a Saint Bernard and you're like, sit, and it's like, no way. You tell some of these breeds like bird dogs, you know, sit down, and they're like, yes, what's next? And they're very, very high energy. I really like the high energy. I'm out a lot, you know, we live on 2 acres. I need a dog that can keep up with me, and I really like that about them too.
These lists are great. They are good at putting jokes on their own.
They're so.
So anyway, my question was, okay, so you got 6 or 8 dogs in time? Don't they all want to, sometimes they want to go in different directions.
I mean, sometimes, you know, there's a smell over there and they wanna go over there and see what that is, but there is really a thing about pack mentality. Pack drive is a thing, you know, dogs have prey drive. They also have pack drive, which is the want and the need to follow, you know, with the pack, and so if we're all going one way and we're all walking. Occasionally, dogs will be like, oh, it's over there, but most of the time, we're like, wait, don't leave me behind, and they'll, you know, run after you. And so dogs really want to stay together, and that's a good thing about, you know, the socialization aspect, because, you know, letting 2 dogs just run up to each other and do whatever they want to meet isn't really a great idea, you know? Walking them side by side is the best way to socialize them.
How do you feel with dogs who maybe don't have the best behavior? Do you have a high success rate with those types of dogs?
I'd say, yeah, I do. I think a lot of the owners would say that their dogs are pretty bad with them, but are really good with me. I think a lot of it is the presence that you bring, you know? A lot of people are unsure about the training with their dog's ability and even their ability. And so a lot of the times it's like, sit. And they're like, I don't know. But if you come up and you're like, sit, there's a big difference. And then also, like I said, just taking the time.
Thank you.
Next is Paul Hoover of Star Automatic, our own Jim's son.
Thank you. I'm not very good at public speaking, so there's no script. I think the last time I had a script to go off of, Jeannie helped me for us with it. For our commercial, it was very fun, thank you. We've been in business since 1975. We're located at 414 Northeast F Street on Scenic on the way, corner 9th and F. And I know we've been in business for a while. This is more of a presentation for newer businesses, but I fully took over president owner since 2023. And we have a 50-year anniversary starting in 2025 in April. I think that's the longest standing, I believe, independent repair shop here in Graessle. So that's something that my people are very, very excited about and very proud of. Been a family-owned business since then, and we want to continue that those values. We employ 8 employees, which are very amazing people, and we do. The motto is "Lawnmowers delivered is what we'll do," and literally that's pretty close to that. We do anything from domestics all the way up to your high-end European vehicles, and also recently this last year got certified to do electric vehicles, EVs. We have a technician that we sent back to Maryland for a couple of weeks to be certified with that. So we're on board to do that 100%. Let's see, what else we got going on?
What's your motto?
My motto, yes. We
Who came up with it?
we during this process, you know, I never had intentions of being a business owner. I was a manager for a Ace hardware store in Rogue River, and Jim wanted to retire and see the retire sell the business. So he came to me one time at lunch and presented the business to me, and it didn't take me very long to make this decision. For him to retire comfortably and still be part of the business, I automatically put in a couple hours to absolutely. So within that came a lot of training and a lot of input from him, SBDC classes, a lot of other trainings back east through the industry's leading classes that I've done. And one of the things we did in SBDC class was what's called a TVP, a total value proposition. And we had to come up with that. So we came up with right first time, on time, every time. It definitely had to say since 1975, because I think when somebody sees the date of how long we've been in business, that's really entitles our roots in our community. We do, I'll try to do as much as we can for the community. We do CASA, the CASA treat for the CASA, just become CASA in Christmas. So, you know, if you guys, and we also do promotions too. So during Christmas time, you guys want to come do a donation, you'll get a certain amount off of your next service, whether $25, $50. I don't know what it is, all depending upon the service that's being done. Also on April, last Friday of April, everyone of you are invited to our 50th year anniversary. We're going to have, that's the last Friday in April, I don't have the exact date. But we're going to have a big old huge shindig for our 50th anniversary, food, free food, probably some raffles, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, you're more than welcome to come, bring up wherever you know. So free food is going to be there. April 25th, thank you.
We'll be in next.
Do you have a shuttle service? I already know this.
Yes, we do have a shuttle service. You know, we have a lot of, you know, to be successful in the community, you got to really listen to your customers and your people. And so we had an old shuttle vehicle that we've had, and you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get in and out of. So we have upped the game that a little bit and got a new shuttle vehicle that's easier for our elderly and people who aren't able to get around very much. So we were able to change that, and we're in the middle of a remodel as well. Well, I'll skip the reason why we're at the point of remodel right now. We're doing a remodel in the middle of that, and we might have something going on for a open house remodel. I'm not sure 100%, didn't figure those details out yet, but
Training staff, training a lot of events. It probably happens frequently, but it seems like so much new stuff. Can you describe that process and what happens and how often we have it?
Yeah, the industry's changing so fast, and it's like 1 month is, it's just changing so fast, so we have online training, that they do, that they're part, they can go in there every day, every month, every week, we have that available, through our vendors. We also have monthly, training sessions that they go in-house and do that, usually it's in Medford. Again, like we have a certain specialty type training that needs to happen, and we'll send one of our technicians to that place like we did in Maryland to be trained up on that. So training is absolutely encouraged. It's an absolute must to stay on top of the industry. We're not that kind of company who keeps our head in the sand. So we are 100% able to take care of whatever it is that needs to be done.
Basically, I hear you say you serve all models.
All makes and models. Yes. Yes.
You have a year cutoff, like for older vehicles?
Yes, we do. 19. No, nothing older than 1990. The reason why it's really hard to find parts and a good quality parts. Again, most of those are all remanufactured parts. Yes, they can be good, but at the same time, like we just did not too long ago, we're doing 3 times and half the point. It's just pointless. It's not helping the customer at all. It's not. It's certainly it's not.
How about RVs?
RVs, we used to. We'll do some as far as the smaller class sprinters, but we stopped doing RVs because again, there's a lot of factors in those, and they take a lot of time, a lot of space, and quite frankly, we just don't have that space. And
Jessica Cunningham.
My name is Jessica Cunningham. I have this, microphone up. Okay, I have a stationery shop in town that opened about a year and a half ago. We're right next to Road Roasters. We're the bright blue building you might see with like the blue and white striped awning right on 6th Street. And we also have an online embossing company, and that's kind of what got me started. So I brought as my little prop this tiny little matchbox, because that's how I kind of started 13 years ago. I made stocking stuffers for my family and friends. They were like little matchboxes that I painted and decorated. I've always been pretty crafty. I was at the time working full-time at an architecture firm, like drafting apartment buildings and hospital rooms, and I just kind of started this for fun. And so I started listing them on Etsy, and it did really well. So I've had a 13-year history as an Etsy shop. And then eventually grew so big. So I guess the way that I changed how I was making things was I bought a few like printing presses kind of. So I foraged actually on like eBay for these kind of vintage foil presses. So I have 2 that do text and then 1 that does images. And basically what we can do is we can press foil like you see on this matchbox onto paper, wood, leather, or linen. So it's great for like personalizing maybe notebooks, custom stationery, that whole kind of thing. Basically grew from that enough to need 2 employees. So I worked with the chair of the graphic design department at RCC to get 2 wonderful employees who I've had for a long time now. And then I think about a year ago when my daughter started kindergarten, finally had time where I moved to Grants Pass 8 years ago and always kind of wanted a brick and mortar shop. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. We found the perfect space after looking for a while that had opened up right next to Road Roasters. It used to be an insurance office. They actually do my small business insurance. So when they moved out, we moved in, and it's a really pretty space. You should come visit. It's been really nice having the brick and mortar because we've discovered that there's a lot of people in the community who also like making things. So we have a bunch of like greeting cards. We have a whole section that's local people who made the greeting cards. We let anyone who loves making cards bring them in, and we put them on the shelf, and we just take a small commission when it sells. We also just started hosting workshops. So we've had just so many people come in who are like, oh, I love making stuff too. We have a watercolor supply section that's been popular. So we've done a watercolor workshop in September. We have another one coming up in mid-October. I think it's on Saturday, November or sorry, coming up in November, Saturday, November 16th. A wonderful woman teaches it, who also teaches at the art museum. So I guess our goal with the in-person place is just to sort of build community, get to know other people who like making things. I guess I would say we have mainly stationery, gift wrap, like that kind of stuff, but also fringing on like art supplies and then office supplies as well. Like ballpoint pens from the most basic to kind of nicer fountain pens. We found a lot of people who are really into fountain pens in the area, which is fun. Pencils, all that kind of thing. So it's been neat. We kind of are growing based on what people are asking for. So yeah, come see the shop sometime, and we'd love to hear feedback or ideas of other ways that we could kind of serve the community and grow and be something that sticks around for a while.
Would you please hire Leonora to do face painting?
That's great, yeah. I love it. If you have an event, they could fit in sometimes. There's a member who does face painting.
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. That sounds lovely. Is there another question?
Are you dealing with, wedding things as well? and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
Yeah, I didn't quite mention all of the ways that we grew along the way, but yes, so personalized gifts is big. We also do a large number of wedding orders. We do like personalized matchboxes as favors, napkins, linen bow books, that kind of thing. Thank you notes for afterwards. Yes, that's a huge component. And then we also sell wholesale to other stores. So we're on a platform called Fair. So we try to sell to other shops around the country that are doing similar things to us. So we have kind of like a bunch of different branches to our business. We also do company logo things. So we worked with like Road Creamery is a local business. We did some custom logo items for them that they needed for a cheese fair they were going to. That was super fun. We've also worked with businesses that are much bigger, like Citibank and Estee Lauder. So we do quite a bit of, I guess, like customized things, and it's been nice to kind of branch out. Any other questions?
Would you go to an event, like if we had something happen, or did you say?
Potentially, yeah. Yes, we donate a lot of like gift baskets to auctions and things. But I did agree to go to an event once this fall, so I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. I'm just gonna set up a table. I think it's like the Theater Club at North Middle School is doing a holiday fair, so we have a table where we're just talking about what we do and have some things. So yeah, maybe something like that. But I'd be happy to talk further. Okay.
Format for like making people who want something to some of your people who are interacting on better like what
Yes, sorry, what was the question, the difference between like getting something made or?
you can kind of link up people and somebody who's a calligraphist with a bride who might want.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would love to do more of that. I would say we've seen people meeting each other who take our workshops. I could start, I guess, gathering information from people who come in. We get people who come in who say, I found someone who will probably teach an acrylic workshop coming up. So it might be good almost to start like, I don't know what it would be called, but like an address book of.
Like a collaboration.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I love this suggestion, so thank you.
You have a website or how do you
find
out about the things that pass?
Yes, our website is handprintsgp.com. You can register for the workshops there, and it's the same handle for Instagram, handprintsgp.
Cut you off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm hoping all of you brought some cards or some literature you can leave behind too, if possible for everybody. Either on the back table or on tables if you can. Paula? You are next. Paula is a Forge and Found. Business used to be on Road River Highway, now it is down the street from us. Welcome.
I brought it up in case I might have erased. Okay, so first off, it's not a business without both you and my husband. And we have a combined 30 years experience in finding interesting and unique items. If you're interested in putting something really fun or in your home, putting interesting things in your home, then you can go out and you can look for it yourself. Or you can come to a shop where that's what we do. We try to find interesting things so people have some something interesting in their home. the most asked questions that we have, are how long have we been in business? And where do you source your items? And it varies quite a bit, you know, as far as where we source. If you've got the gumption to get up earlier than anyone else and stand in line for hours in the freezing cold, go right ahead. I don't, my husband does. I do the more of the business end of things. And I often will stay in the store when he's out on hunt. And it definitely is a two-person business is what I really wanted to say. It's a two-person business because if he didn't do what he does and I do what I do, then we wouldn't be able to serve our community at all. And we do love Grants Pass very much.
So, you have a wide variety of things in your shop down the road there. And it's been a while since I've been in, I think the last time was a year or so back when you were at the other highway. How much, when you have all that stuff, it seems very easy to like want to make it your own, you know, do that little thing to it to make it new or repurpose it.
Right.
Where's that balance point? Sorry, that's not yours.
I don't do a lot of painting or anything like that. Over time, you kind of eliminate that from your schedule because it takes too much time. I try to find things in the best condition that I can and put it out there into the world. Once in a while, if I do, you know, I have to put on all the time that we've invested in those things. So it's not really, we don't really fix up much. Once in a while, we'll find some really cool stuff and like make a kitchen island out of an old workbench or something like that. You know, something that we'll be able to make our money on, you know. It's and a lot of people think that this is really, really fun. There is a very, very fun element to it, but there's also yucky stuff too. And the yucky stuff is cleaning up and pricing. You feel like you've done nothing all week but wash stuff that nobody cares about. And price it and so on. Oh, we are just down the street here at 145 Mill Street on Mill and F. So we're just down the street.
Used to be a bar.
Used to be a bar.
Right. Yeah, well, and a lot of people are having a hard time adjusting. I get people coming in looking like they need a beer.
Do you have more indoor stuff or more outdoor stuff or an equal combination?
We do a lot of, probably the majority of our business since we've had the garden is, or it's been a 50-50. Half of the outdoor stuff and half indoor stuff. We do an incredible amount of smalls. In business, what I learned from working for other people is I don't want to sit on anything. I don't want to retire with any of this stuff. Come here, we'll all make a deal. Don't hesitate, you know, to. Yes, ma'am.
Does your inventory typically stay in stock?
It depends.
Do you know when you're gonna sell something really fast?
Oh, yeah. Yes, mid-century modern. Anything that is pretty neutral, it's in and out. If it's really cool, I have a bunch of people that are in line for things that are really interesting and cool. And often I don't even get to take a picture of it to put on Instagram, unfortunately. Sometimes I'll do it anyway.
So that sounds like you'll take orders like, hey, I'm looking for a law.
Not so much. The people that I know that'll buy at a drop of a hat usually stop in. The first thing I open. That, or if it's something that I know that people collect, they
I'll call them, or send them a picture before I put it on the floor. I really want everyone to get that experience, you know, to be exclusive sort of thing. But I have to keep in business too. Busy.
I do gotta say, you do have a really cool store.
Oh,
My
thank you.
wife spent over a half hour.
This is a little bit, it's a little bit smaller store, but we have so much packed into it. It's still pretty fun to go through, unless you have to dust it.
You got a cool shop though.
Okay, last question.
Is it just like a furniture, is it like knickknacks and?
It's a lot of smalls, which are a lot of smalls, but we sell tons of shelves. Don't get a chair or anything that sits in there very long. If it's huge, maybe it'll be there longer, you know, but. Generally, we don't have very much that sits too long.
I gotta cut you off.
Thank you.
Paul, people over here. You want to take a picture? Does anybody have any burning questions for any of them? And then we're gonna hand it over to Judy and Sergeant Honors. No? Thank you very much for doing this. Yeah, we just heard the other.
We'll have Lutz come up. Wow, you know how I'm always effusive about our programs. That's my favorite part about Rotary. Today was my very favorite program ever. And I appreciate every one of you willing to go in and do a small business. And I just learned a whole lot, golf and juice, the relationship thereof. I've always needed counseling. My dogs need counseling. And I love the car repair shuttle. The stationery is cool. And Paula with your treasure. So let's turn it over to Lutz. And I forgot to say, we're having a stand-up board meeting just after the meeting, so.
Thanks, Stuart. Since we are running short on time, I'm going to skip by my 15 minutes of political jokes. And we'll go right to Happy Bucks. And hang on a minute. But I'd like to introduce the Happy Bucks with something from Robert Frost. Robert Frost, when he was asked what he had learned about life as he was getting older, he said, "I can sum up everything I know about life in 3 words. It goes on." And for those of you that are having some problems during this week, it goes on. And one of the things that makes it go on well is groups like this. Tonight, for the Four-Way Foundation, the presentation for the person who is a community service individual is Dr. Bruce Murray from our club. In fact, 4 out of the last 5 recipients of this award have been from this club. We have Doug, we have Brenda, we have Steve Rowe, and now we have Dr. Murray. And the fact that he hasn't been here to meetings is because he's been out there helping life go on. And so I think we can give ourselves a big round of applause for what we're doing. I'm going to start with $20, $5 for each of our recipients. And what I would suggest is, as we do Happy Bucks today, think about some things that we can keep coming back to for service above self, for the stuff that we do well, and pat ourselves on the back a little bit for having the kind of a club that we do. Oh, good. Now it's your turn.
Well, my wife and I didn't make it to Mexico this month, and I have $5 in Happy Bucks because I got really scared. There was a cardiac event that prevented us from going with my wife, and I got really scared. I'm just glad she's here and I'm here, and so I'm happy about it.
And you're happy with your too. Then who's up?
Well, I agree that this is an active club and there's a lot of good that comes out of here. I can't help but thank Jim for all you've done to put together the project down in Cozumel. That's wonderful to see people try to reach out and help in that way. Like I said, there's a lot of good in this club, and a lot of people putting things together for the community, the work that they've done for the homeless. So I just, $5, same thing. This is a great club, and thank you all for your actions.
Thanks, Ellen.
I just want to give some happy bucks to our presenters today. You always hear about how the small businessmen and women are the backbone of our country. And boy, when I heard him speak today, I said, yes, that is so true. So thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it.
Well, I want to give $10 for an insight that I had riding through the woods this morning, taking my dog for his run. This is, there's a lot of energy right now. And from the members in our club, probably a lot of sad, disappointment, scared energy. But I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to really show our stuff. And I think this is what Rotary is good at. We aren't ever going to get anywhere unless we work together. And we're all Americans. We all bleed red. And I think we can show our stuff by saying, all right, what can we do to help make this a better world for all of us? I'm going to put on another Braver Angels program called Bridging the Divide. And I think that's what we need to do. We can bridge the divide and come together and work together for the common good. So my challenge is out there for all of us.
Great.
Excellent. And just to follow up on one of the things Brenda said about Braver Angels, those of us who are lucky enough to have tickets to the community celebration from Four-Way tonight will get to hear the Braver Angels presentation, which is the keynote address coming after the elections, and things that we have to keep in mind. One thing that does go on is baseball. I have 8 happy bucks for the 8th World Championship that the Los Angeles Dodgers and formerly Brooklyn Dodgers have won.
Where you are. I have happy bucks for also for our presenters. I agree, Judy. This is an awesome presentation. So thank you all. I've got notes and coming to see all of you, I think. Last Thursday night, our gathering at the Sweeney's was fabulous. I have a picture of myself with 3 fellow witches that I will treasure for a long, long time. And Leonora, I had more compliments on my face. And how did I get my face to be so pretty and green? You don't hear that very often, so that's coming from Rotary. And the last thing is that as I thought about, this value of Rotary, when I decided to retire, I was riding around with my grandson in Port Orchard, and we came past where the Rotary meets, and he saw the wheel and he says, "Grandma, I'm just wondering, now that you're retired, are you still going to be in the rodeo?"
Not your first rodeo, I know that.
I just have happy bucks for the speaker and the fellowship today. Thank you.
It's interesting that in Mandarin, the character for crisis is a combination of the 2 characters for danger and opportunity. And I think that that's something to keep in the back of our minds as we're going through things.
So a couple of happy bucks. One for the presenters and how easy you all made this for me today. Thank you. And then also have some happy bucks for Parkside Elementary. So I started going there and volunteering again. And so the 5th grade class is a little small this year, so they have an empty classroom. And so they've turned it into a wood shop. And it's lovely to go in there. It's damn noisy with 25 kids in there banging around on things, little scroll saws going, but it's really nice to see that. There's a particular teacher who I volunteer with whose background is construction like mine, that's how we know each other. And so he's scrounged up a whole bunch of different tools and they're in there making little crafts. And it's really nice. It's a really lot of fun.
Anybody else? Okay, the winning card is the 5 of Hearts. Yeah. Okay, if there's nobody else, I will bring it back. Remember, we've got the stand-up board meeting.
Okay, I want to thank Doug Walker for organizing this. I'm sure it wasn't that easy, but it was well worth it to all of us. And thank you. I want to invite all of you from the businesses that presented today to consider joining us. We would be honored to have you. We are super fun, just saying. And okay, so our thought for the day as we end up, you're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. Robin Williams. See you next week.